Hello and welcome along to this month's Road.cc Recommend Show. I'm Rebecca Charlton, and alongside me back on the sofa once again is Liam Carhill. It is so good to see you back from injury.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm fixed in this position, but it is nice to be back. Hopefully, you at home have now got the idea of this. Instead of doing the yearly awards for the best cycling products, we're telling you about what the products are this month. It keeps things a bit fresher, and that way it means that every month Becca and I get to sit on the sofa and tell you all about it. Remember, if you want more details about something that you see here, there are full reviews on the site with a link to get to there in the description below.
Well, today we'll be running through all the best products from July. We've got some buying advice about getting your first gravel bike, and there's a Product of the Month award to give out, of course, as well. As well as all of that, there's a recommended route and a recommended cafe stop as well. But enough of the intros, let's dive straight into some great products.
Becca, I'll kick us off with the Apadura Backcountry Full Frame Pack, which, with its 6-litre capacity, is an excellent way to carry a lot of gear. It's easy to fit and use, it's made from bomb-proof material, it's fully waterproof, and it carries a lifetime guarantee. So the right side of the pack has a flap that has a dual zipper, and that allows you to completely open the pack and allows easy access to the whole space. The top zip has 2 pulls, meaning that it can be opened from either end on the go to, ferret around for like a jacket, put away gloves, whatever you're doing. It's fully waterproof. There are extra pockets inside to tuck away smaller items, and overall, the pack is a top-class expedition-worthy bag for keeping lots of kit low, dry, and secure in your frame.
Well, Liam, I've got a meth stove.
Excuse me? What?
Yeah. The Bare Bones ultralight 22-gram meth stove is one of the lightest, most compact ways to heat water on a bike ride, of course.
Fine, so the only drugs we're talking about are the caffeine kind.
Of course. Yes, and this little stove is brilliant for bike packing. A 30ml helping of fuel burns for about 10 minutes, so filling the provided 100ml bottle to the brim, 155 grams, gives you half an hour's water heating for 199 grams. So let's just translate that. The really important bit here is you can get a cup of tea or coffee in about 6 minutes.
What are the chances of getting a cappuccino, though? I reckon they're...
The chance in your luck.
I reckon they're slim. Anyway, the next product to tell you about is the Castelli Primo black bib shorts. These are a properly premium option at 220 quid, but they are fantastic. They're comfortable on longer distances, they have an excellent pad, and they deliver compression qualities, all the while feeling like they're hardly there. Castelli has used some very clever tech in the fabric. Within each panel, the same material has different qualities and thicknesses. Down at the bottom of the leg, for example, Castelli has essentially sewn elastication into the material in a lot of little kind of dots that stretch for the first 9 centimeters of the bottom of the leg. That's in place of traditional silicone grippers. Mm-hmm. This means that they sit close to the leg and keep the shorts in place without any uncomfortable pulling that you would almost certainly get if you had used a similar amount of silicone gripper. Inside you get the Progetto X2 Air Seamless Pad, which is excellent, and these are genuinely innovative bib shorts that feel like a technological leap forward.
Well, to go with your new bib shorts, Liam, how about the Pac Team Men's Summit Aero short sleeve jersey?
I have to say, this one is looking like it would go very nicely, Becca.
Well, this is also made from a recycled polyester and cut to be nice and aero, and I have to say it does look really, really good. I'm also a big fan of the collar.
Yeah, those kind of dropped collars, apart from the aero, I find that they're just more comfortable. Next up, and the final one before we get to our buying advice, is the Pirelli P0 Race Clincher tyre. These have been on Jamie's bike, and he's been testing them, and he rocked up to a circuit race on them for their first outing. I was also in that race, and I'm very glad that he found them to be grippy, because I was on his wheel, and if he'd have crashed, I'd have been going down too. And
we don't want that again.
He didn't tell me that they were their first outing. Jamie. These work well as well in the wet weather too, thanks to the Smart Evo Compact. So a good tyre option.
Well tested there, for sure. Well, time now for some buying advice, Liam. This one comes off the back of one of our products of the month, the Boardman Adventure 8.9. So what advice have we got about buying a gravel bike?
Well, let's start with a little look at the Boardman, because our reviewer, Stu, he says that unless you are racing or a really fast rider looking for precision handling, not us, as your ride passes by in a blur, you really won't be let down by the way that the Boardman handles or rides. If you are looking for a one bike does all kind of thing, then you can't really go wrong with the Boardman. With mounts for mudguards and a rack, it's actually looking like a lightweight tourer too. Tyre clearance is decent, about 45mm without guards. There is a bit of a mix and a match approach to the gearing, but mostly it's based around Shimano's very capable gravel-specific groupset GRX in its 10-speed form. That gives you brilliant braking and very smooth shifting. Anyway, if you are thinking about buying a gravel bike, here's some top tips to aid your purchase.
Over the past few years, gravel and adventure bikes have gone from being the latest craze in cycling to being a big part of most bike companies' ranges, and they can be a whole lot of fun. These bikes are tailored for long distance comfort with drop handlebars, disc brakes, wide tyres and geometries that are designed to excel both on the road and off it, whether that's on gravel, forest or dirt tracks. Gravel and adventure bikes are descended from touring bikes, endurance road bikes and cyclocross bikes. They're a real mix, taking aspects of each to become go almost anywhere machines for riders who want to explore, maybe race on dirt roads, with the ability to ride tarmac efficiently to get there. The use of disc brakes gives you reliable stopping power in all conditions and allows generous frame clearances for fatter tyres. This means you get a bike that can cope with a wide range of roads and tracks and that can easily handle all the sort of potholes you'll find on poorly maintained tarmac. The ability to take on different types of surfaces also allows you to go off the beaten track in order to avoid motor traffic. You won't find too many cars trying to squeeze past you on your local forest roads, for example. Essentially, these bikes open up more riding possibilities so you can pick and choose whatever suits you best. One other key feature is the gearing. The easier gearing you get here will allow you to climb more easily on steep and loose terrain, even if you're carrying a heavy load. The range of gravel and adventure bikes out there is huge. At the adventure end of the spectrum, you get rugged bikes that are designed to carry everything you need for a night away from home or longer. So you'll get things like mounts for racks, multiple bottle cages and top tube bags. To begin with, gravel bikes were intended purely for racing, so they were usually pretty stripped down machines. But these days, most are much more versatile than that, so you'll often get mounts added here too for things like mud guards, which will come in handy if you want to use your bike for all-weather commuting. Some manufacturers are bringing features over from mountain biking into the gravel world, so you'll often see 650B wheels, which are smaller than road wheels, but about the same size once you take bigger tyres into account, and even dropper seat posts, which allow you to lower your saddle for technical sections, and short travel suspension. So how do you go about choosing the right gravel or adventure bike for you? You need to think about the riding that you're likely to do. If you're planning multi-day epics, then you need something with load carrying capacity, small enough gears to keep you moving when the going gets tough, and a ride position that's comfortable enough for riding all day long. On the other hand, if you're more likely to blast around local tracks and forest roads for a couple of hours at a time, well, your focus is likely to be on slightly larger gears, a more aggressive riding position, and maybe even aero features. If you fancy taking on technical trails, super wide tyres, wide stance handlebars, and perhaps even suspension becomes more appealing. The beauty is that the gravel and adventure market is so diverse these days that there's something out there to suit everyone.
Brilliant stuff. Well, our next product is the 76 Projects ASS Clip, which is a super neat way to attach a top tube bag to your stem.
I have to say, we've seen a load of these little solutions lately, and I'm a big fan of this trend.
Yeah, well, little upgrades like this are actually my favourite. This is a 3D printed widget that has two parts. The first piece replaces one of the spaces on your steerer tube, and then the other part attaches to the bag you'll be using via the strap that would usually go around your steerer tube. Then you just clip the whole thing on.
I really love this. I really have to say, yeah, it's just so neat. Another product that I've loved this month, mainly because they are so shiny, is the Campagnolo Bora Ultra WTO 45 disc brake wheel set. Now, I got the pleasure of riding around on these wheels for the last few months, and now, unfortunately, Campag wants its $3,000 wheels back.
I cannot think Wiley.
I know. Gosh.
Goodness sake.
Anyway, the tech in these wheels is really impressive. From the rim finish to the clever nipple design, the hubs, as per usual from Campag, are absolutely stunning. In terms of performance, it's a case of diminishing returns. So these are not twice as good as a pair of wheels costing, half as much, but they are bloody good. If you've got some money and you fancy some stupidly flashy do-it-all road wheels, these are a great pick, I have to say.
I have to say you do have pretty expensive taste, don't you, Liam?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Talking of which, the MAP Team Bib Ivo isn't the cheapest option, but these offer brilliant comfort as well as performance. The shorts deliver the close fit you want to stop any unwanted bunching of the fabric, along with support for your muscles as well. The multi-panel design keeps seams away from where they could cause irritation, and also creates shorts that move perfectly with you while you're riding, whether you're in or out of the saddle, actually.
You have to love a comfy pair of bibs. Now, Rapha's men's classic jersey is becoming a bit of a favourite, and with this second version, Rapha has made it with recycled polyester, so your new cycling jersey can be a bit more eco-friendly.
Love that.
If you like the old one, the fit and feel are the same, and this is still a great pick for general road riders. Think about general riding, Becca. One of the best bikes that you can get for the job is the new Giant Defy Advanced 3.
Are you referring to me as a generic bike rider here?
I'm referring to myself as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, the Defy has always been a favourite. You see loads of them at the weekend cafe stop, don't you? The Defy Advanced 3, the most affordable Defy in the current range. It's not especially a lightweight bike, weighing in at 9.1 kilograms, but the fact that it's so comfortable means you can happily keep ticking off the miles all day long. Well, on this model, you get a Shimano Tiagra group set. Tiagra is a 10-speed group set, and here you get a wide-ranging 1134 tooth cassette matched up with a 5034 chain set. The shifting is brilliant, I have to say, and the braking powerful, and there is a lot to love here. The geometry is really relaxed, but not overly upright, actually. It just puts you in a comfy control position, so if you struggle a little bit with that really racy position on a road bike, then this could be the answer to your sore back questions. Now that you've got the perfect bike, it's time to ride it to a lovely cafe. Let's head over there now to hear from them.
This month we're heading to Derbyshire and Hassop Station Cafe, just a couple of miles out of Bakewell. The clue's in the name here. The cafe is in a former station building that used to serve the Midland Railway. Now the railbed has been transformed into an 8.5 mile leisure route, the Monsell Trail, and it's a brilliant place for family cycling. There are a number of tunnels and spectacular views from the Monsell Head Viaduct. The route is well surfaced and wide enough for wobbly kids too. There's a well-stocked hire centre with bikes for all ages if you're passing through without your own bikes. If you want your riding a bit harder, then Hassop gives great access to the peaks with famous climbs such as Winnett's Pass, Kerber Edge and Mamtor, all within easy reach. If you're into gravel riding, then the Peak District has it in abundance, from canal paths and old railways to more technical riding across the open moors. Once you get back, Hassop Station has both a takeaway hatch and a fully stocked cafe with plenty of indoor and covered seating outdoors if the weather's not playing ball. There's a book and gift shop and even accommodation at Station Farm if you're planning to stay for a few days. It's the perfect base for a weekend of Peak District fun.
Oh, thanks guys. If you've got a favourite stop, tell us what they are. There's a link popping up now to the Road.cc Forum where you can suggest your own favourites. The link's in the description below too.
It is, and if we pick your choice and it's featured here on the show, then we'll chuck your favourite cafe some cash to put behind the till for your next visit. So your next cake start will be on us.
I tell you what, Becca, we are very nice, aren't we?
Oh, we are. Well, back to this month's recommended products now. Next up, we have the IRC Boken Plus Gravel Tyre 650B.
Yeah, so this is a semi-slick tyre with kind of a solid centre tread that gets increasingly open the further you move from the centre line. There's a herringbone section on each side of the middle and then 2 sections of blocks on the shoulder. So the idea is that the middle section rolls well on like tarmac, and then the more open tread comes into play when the bike is cornering and when the surface is uneven as the tyre deforms over obstacles. It's built around a tubeless ready carcass, and reviewer Dave used these tyres on a wide variety of rides and was very impressed with the level of grip that they offer.
He was indeed. Now, for one of the best frame sets around, in my opinion, the Trek Damani SL disc frame set, which has ISO-speed tech both front and rear, and this helps it damp small vibrations and bigger hits as well. The rear ISO-speed features a seat tube that is fixed to the bottom bracket area in the normal way, but it isn't moulded to the top tube or seat stays. Instead, the tubes are joined by a pivot, allowing the seat tube to flex more than would otherwise be possible. Front ISO speed comes in the form of a rocker cup at the top of the headset that allows the Forks carbon steerer to flex backwards and forwards, but not from side to side. The main feature here isn't the protection from big hits, so really it's the smoothing that you get from the smaller stuff. Little holes, manhole covers, drains, frost damage, badly patched tarmac, curbs on and off the cycle path, all of the things that we all constantly encounter on a typical ride. This is a great frame set for building into a general road bike.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the Damani too, I have to say. And it isn't a slouch on the climbs either. A bike for a similar riding style is the Giant Contend SL1 disc, the new one from 2021. This is a high quality aluminium road bike that's relatively light, comfortable, and it's well priced too. It's not really a racer, but it offers a lively, positive ride with kind of crisp handling. So if you point the Contend downhill, the confidence and sure-footed feel that the geometry and tyre volume generate make it stable, predictable, and a lot of fun. The group set is Shimano 105, only deviating at the chain set, and you get Giant's Defuse carbon seat post, which is designed to smooth the ride. It works brilliantly with Giant's Approach saddle, which reviewer Robin reckons is one of the comfiest that he's ever used. So the Giant 28mm tyres provide more comfort, obviously. On the disc wheel set that we had on our test bike, they measure up to 32mm wide, which is generous, really. As the wheels are tubeless compatible, they could be converted over easily, allowing you to run lower pressures for even greater comfort.
Good stuff. Well, time now for the big one, Liam, our product of the month, and it is the excellent Hammerhead Crew 2. A big well done to Hammerhead. Let's go now to Anna, who reviewed the Crew 2, and she can tell us all about it now.
The Hammerhead Crew 2 has an improved compact design with a large enough 3.2-inch touchscreen for viewing lots of data fields, motivational pop-up overlays, as well as a beautiful map in detail. The Crew 2 is excellent, and I'd say it's the go-to device if you're looking for training and navigational capabilities combined, which is why it makes this month's product of the month, and now I'm going to run through what it's got to offer. The device runs on an upgraded Android 8 operating system. The touchscreen responds incredibly well, and it feels much more like operating a smartphone than a cycling computer. The Crew 2 also has an upgraded quad-core processor with 2GB of RAM for a faster and responsive device that's also capable of handling the regular software updates that Hammerhead installs to improve the device and to introduce new features with. Most recently was Hammerhead's Climber pop-up overlay. Now this feature was rolled in when I was riding around Scotland on a mini tour. I didn't know the roads at all, and so it was really helpful for finding out what was round the next coastal bend and for gauging my efforts up climbs. It has a countdown display with the distance and the elevation of the climb remaining, and it also has a colour-coded elevation profile which shows which sections are steeper or shallower, so you fully know what to expect. Another cool feature for training and pushing yourself is a Strava live segment overlay. As well as all the usual useful information, such as elapsed time and distance remaining, there's an elevation profile where you can easily see where you stand compared to other competitors, along with your previous best and recent times. It's super motivating, and the visual format also makes it easier to see as you're digging deep in an effort. The Crew 2 also has excellent navigational capabilities for both pre-planned routes made in its dashboard or with third-party apps such as Strava Commute, and also for out in the wild spontaneous ones. If you're on the road itself or away from home and without a laptop, as long as you have mobile data and you can set up a hotspot to the Crew 2, or you have a SIM inserted into the device, the Crew 2 has your back. As the screen is so responsive, it's really easy to move the map about to create your desired route directly on the Crew 2. You can zoom in and out to plot the points along the route, or you can type in the street name or postcode. It's really handy. When you're riding along, turn information pops up on whatever screen you're on, with details on the distance left until the turn, as well as an arrow indicating which direction. The map detailing is fantastic, the navigational overlays are handy, and there are also audio alerts to ensure you don't miss any turns. The Crew 2 also comes with an increased internal storage of 32 gigabytes, with 26 of that for maps. This is plenty for downloading additional offline maps for holidays abroad. It's also super easy to do so, as you can do it directly on the device itself. Now that's everything I was going to run through on the Hammerhead Crew today. The full review is up on the website. Now back over to Liam and Becca in the studio.
Cheers, Anna. That looks like a properly good head unit. The final thing today to talk about is our route of the month.
It is indeed, because this is where we tell you about a brilliant cycling route that you might want to go out and ride, and even if you're local, you might have missed. Over now to the Scottish Highlands.
For this month's recommended route, we're heading north into Scotland for a fantastic gravel loop that takes in some stunning Highland scenery. Starting from the town of Callander, the loop heads out by the shores of Loch Venacha along a well-surfaced trail that joins up with a quiet forest drive on gravel roads that takes you round the back of Loch Acre. After that, there's a short road section before the route climbs to the Glenfinglas Reservoir and on to the main climb of the day. The route heads up the Glenfinglas Valley to a stream crossing. There's a bridge option if you don't want to get your feet wet, but that's not much fun. After that, the hard work starts. It's a steep and rocky double-track climb round the back of Mialcala that'll have you on your limit. It's definitely worth it though. The wilderness views from the back of the loop are incredible, and the long, winding descent back down to the reservoir is fantastic. This section of the route is remote and phone signal is patchy, so it's best to buddy up and make sure you're prepared for emergencies. Once you're back down, there's a really nice rolling trail along the other side of Loch Venacha to finish. It's a loop with a bit of everything and well worth a trip north, or south if you live in Aberdeen or something. The area is peppered with incredible gravel riding, so it's a perfect location for a weekend of exploring or even longer.
Now, if you want to check out that route, you'll find it along with all of our other brilliant routes over on our Commute page. There's a link, of course, in the description.
Oh, and they should send us their routes as well. All you need to do is plan a route on Commute and invite us to it, or tag us in a ride that you've already done. There's a link popping up now that'll take you to a page on Road.cc that explains how to do it in kind of more detail. The link is also in the description below. And if we pick your route, you'll get a year of free Commute Premium on us.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really is. Well, if you like this video, give us a like and please do subscribe. And you can also even hit the bell icon to get notified when we post any new brilliant content.
Yeah, we will be back next month with a whole new host of products. So we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.